Hey, QWERTY birdies! Hello, and welcome to the Qwertycast. This is episode 3, full of less problems and more fun. Still talking about indie games and computer games, and sometimes some other stuff. Here are our hosts. Today we have Andres Spillari.
Hello!
And Stephen Hunt.
Yo, yo, yo.
And I am Kenny Schofield, and this is the part of the podcast where we say what's up. And usually I have music for this, but we're still running into other music. So guys, tell me what's going on, and I'll just kind of naturally fly into it.
Alrighty. Steven, when you played football, did they ever call you Steven Punt?
That's a good one.
No, they didn't. No,
is that a thing, or is that only
have...
baseball? Damn it.
No, punting's football. You got it right.
Baseball?
I'm the sport.
No,
Jesus.
there's way more worse ways.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. No,
Steven,
we
keep
need
going.
to circle
Don't
back
let
to
Kenny,
this.
Don't let Kenny talk over you. Don't be
even like a baby would know that you don't punt things in baseball.
Yeah, you do with your bat.
That's a bunt.
Oh, it's a bunt. No, that's a cake.
You might punt something if you're really mad.
Oh, true.
Yeah, you could punt your bat, maybe.
Well, I got it right the first time. Why are you hating on me?
Anyway, sorry. Go on, Steven. Please tell us.
Oh no, I was gonna say there's way worse ways to, make fun of the last name Hunt.
Yeah.
That needs to get repeated
true.
here.
I was about to say, like, there's probably some easy ways that are not clever. What's a clever one?
Did you deal with bullies at all and growing up?
No, personally I didn't. My class was weird growing up. We really didn't we had arguments.
Oh, so you were the bully.
Weird.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
they say, right? They say that if you didn't have any bullies, then it's because you were bullying people and you didn't realize it.
Oh my God, imagine.
Well, if anybody here was bullied by me, listening and everything, I apologize sincerely.
Aw. Give it up for Steven, everyone.
But you're also still a nerd. Wait, we're all nerds though here, aren't we?
That's
because
true.
We're here to talk about indie games.
Yes.
It's come full circle.
It has.
Yeah. You became the nerd you once tormented.
How about you, Andres? Did anybody call you fun names when you were in high school or middle school?
I definitely got bullied, but it didn't bother me so much so that I'm crying about it today. And just that night, I actually had somebody within the last year reach out to me on Facebook to apologize for bullying me.
Wow.
And I was like, what? This is so weird. And I won't obviously say their name, but I basically, I forgave him and I said, I'm not holding on to anything. I'm just trying to live my life. And then that ended, so that was fine.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. It was very sweet of him to do, and he also mentioned that he never stopped anyone from bullying me. So there definitely was this one kid. Oh, this was a really good story. But basically, I went to have lunch with my mom when I was visiting, whatever, maybe a year or two ago, and we go to a restaurant in my hometown, and the guy who's serving us keeps giving me these looks I should know him. So it wasn't until the end that I asked him, hey, did you happen to graduate from this high school and around this year? And he's like, yes, your name's Andres, right? I'm like, oh, fuck. Why do you know me, but I don't know you? And then, he said his name, yada, yada. I won't say it. And then when we left, I stopped and I was like, Mom, oh, my God, that was my high school bully. And I, totally forgot he existed, which is... yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, now I remember his face. That's, I think, the only guy who really, was mean to me for being gay and stuff like that, and being, fatter, but whatever. Now I'm gay, fat, and proud, so.
That was our
gay, fat,
anti-bullying segment.
Wait,
don't
I haven't
bully.
told mine yet.
Oh, okay. You were the...
I played both sides of the field. So when I was in elementary school, there was a kid named Nick, and so I would always go up to him and I would do Nick
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and he did not like that. And so he got really mad by it.
Oh my God, that's so good.
But and then in high school, no, in middle school, well, a little bit of high school. It was weird, but it was mostly middle school. There was this kid who was just like a dick to me for some reason. Most notably, we were like in an engineering class, and he like slapped, like we were like doing like blueprints for houses and stuff, and then we would like make small little models of it, and he just like slapped all of my work out of my hand as I was about to present it to the teacher.
Wow.
And I cried. It was not a fun time. But I got him back because later in high school, he had a broken leg.
Oh my
And we were both in the same computer class.
Yeah.
And he was actually pretty good at computing and like programming and stuff. And so I was like, "Hey man, can you come help me with this problem?" And he like sits like a couple of rows behind me, so he like came over and like, you know, like got on his crutches, like hobbled over and like had a big sigh. He's like, like I'm gonna help this guy, whatever. And then he got all the way over to my seat, and then I was like, never mind, I figured it out. And then he went all the way back.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
And I was pretty proud of that.
And are you gonna tell the viewers, the listeners, that you used to bully me when we lived together?
We bullied each other.
Okay, that's fair.
That's just part of the camaraderie.
Just part of it, exactly.
Yeah, don't try to like throw me under the bus, you motherfucker.
No, wow, we've got some heated discussions to have.
This is not the antagonistic arc anymore.
And Qwerty has failed after 3 episodes.
Yeah, all because of Calvin. God damn it.
Oh man. But anyway, I mean, besides that, Halloween just happened.
Yes.
Did you guys
spooky.
dress up at all?
Yeah, did anybody do anything for that? Did you guys get dressed up, go to parties, anything like that?
Yeah, I did. I was Miles Morales, and my girlfriend was Gwen Stacy.
Oh, wow, nice. Doing a Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, it was dope. We got some cool pictures.
Nice.
But we also hosted a party called Liquor Treat. And that is almost exactly what it sounds like. Everyone makes some kind of food or dessert, and as long as it raises your blood alcohol content, then it's good to go.
Nice.
And that's like, it's just everyone brings their own dish, and it's a fun time.
Now, was that your liquor treat, or was that a clan liquor treat?
No, so that was my Liquor Treat. That was technically Liquor Treat South, because I know Liquor Treat North happened as well, and that's where I got the inspiration from.
Gotcha.
So this was my third one, and I know it was like their 6th.
Yeah, I was unable to attend the clan liquor treat this year because I ended up going to a Halloween party for my girlfriend and her colleagues.
And just for clarification, because clan can be a word that can't easily thrown around these days. That's the diet clan that we are a part of. You know, all the hours, half the skill.
Yeah, I guess guild. You know, it's
a guild.
It's a clan that's existed for a little while now.
Clan used to have a better terms, you know, in the 90s, sort of. Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why gamers picked it up as like what their like groups were called.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I was like in the 90s, or not the 90s, but like when I was, you know, gaming growing up, I was in a clan called the All American Clan, which admittedly sounds bad now that I'm saying it out loud.
You're not helping yourself here.
I think one group appropriated the term, but and now it's got a negative connotation.
But
the clan used to be...
The clan that I was a part of was celebrated the 82nd Airborne in World War II, and that's where that came from.
And you all dressed up as ghosts, and you ran around on horses.
No, it didn't happen like that.
I swear.
Well, I was gonna say most of our listeners should be gamers. They'll recognize that term.
Good.
True.
Yeah, actually.
Well, I have a couple. I know I have definitely a couple listeners that are not gamers. So that one's specifically for you guys.
Yeah. Now they all know that you're a racist.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome. You've been outed. You've been yachted.
Mm-mm.
No.
No. What about you guys? Did you dress up or anything?
Yeah, you first, Steve.
Oh, okay, I'll go. So I went to a Halloween party with my girlfriend and her colleagues from work, and they were doing like an 80s, 90s theme kind of thing. So some people went as like Rugrats and
cool.
like Nickelodeon characters. Somebody was Cat and Dog, but me and Jody went as Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World, and I was Garth.
Yes.
So I had the
so classic
blonde wig and the big glasses.
Oh my
and the
God.
jeans and just kept saying party time.
I think I see one Wayne and Garth every Halloween.
Oh, it's classic.
It's a costume that's timeless. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you guys get the opportunity to run up to somebody and go on your knees and be like, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy"?
No, but we were trying to do all of the tropes that we could.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't one of the ones that we were able to pull off.
That sounds so good.
How about you, Andres?
I dressed up as Mermaid Man, and my friend Avery did Barnacle Boy. So it was like I was planning on going to their boss's party in New Jersey on the 26th, but then we opted out of it, and so we just met up for our friend Ethan's party that happened on like the Saturday after Halloween. So I just had two Halloween parties that same night. I like fell asleep, woke up at like 10, and I was like, God damn it, I still have to do like both parties. But thankfully they were very close to each other, so I had a really good time. And was doing like a no drink or smoke October, so this was my first time actually drinking again.
Nice.
And it was
Sounds like fun.
yeah, I've been hungover all day, so it was a tough one. But yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of fun, a lot of great costumes. My friend Tessa dressed up as Marceline, the vampire queen.
Oh,
but she was
nice.
Marceline from the episode where they opened the singing door, so she had the sun hat and the jeans and the jean jacket.
Fuck yeah,
it was
that's
so
awesome.
good. You can see that on my Instagram, Kenny, actually.
I'll have to check it out later. That's awesome.
Yeah, so a bunch of the I actually have 2 photo sets on Instagram right now from the 2 separate parties.
That's really cool.
And yeah, so it was really a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to pull out that costume. And I think that's pretty much it. Dion came later to the second one, so that was fun. And then we could go home together, so that was easy.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
got to meet some people I didn't know and whatnot. Oh, I actually met a few people that I've like heard of for a while, and never actually met at those parties as well. So that was good.
Nice.
Yeah, things like that seem to be happening to you a lot this past
I
week.
know, right? Like there was this Friday, and I'm going to talk about this in my segment too. But Friday there was a really cool game jam, and I met this guy who was like, he was really cute, he was really nice, and he was a friend of Tyler's. And Tyler
Dude,
was
that's
like,
so weird because
his name was Steven.
I went to a game jam too, and I met this guy that was a friend of Tyler's. That's so weird.
That's so weird. Wait, were you at the same game jam? This
Was it
guy's
at the
name...
Color Space Lab?
Yeah. Was that you that I was talking to?
Yes, in fact, it 100%.
Oh
was.
my God!
Yeah,
Surprise!
me and Andres met IRL this week.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so left out.
So it was like, literally what happened was that I was talking to Tyler, and then he's like, yeah, I'm so happy that Steve was able to come out to help us like do stuff for the game and yada yada. He's like such a good salesman because he's like over there talking up to people, and I was like, wait, who's Steve? And he's like, Steve, like the guy you do the podcast with. I'm like, wait, what? Steve? And he's like, yeah, the guy literally right behind you. And I turn around and I point at him and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know what you looked like. I had never seen your face before. And I think Steve was like, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, so from my perspective, Tyler's like, yeah, you know this guy. And then Andres comes over, he's like, yeah, we do a podcast together? And I'm like, wait, Kenny? Because I haven't met any of you guys.
Yeah, that was so good. I'm just like, I've never seen your face before. And you're like, I haven't seen yours either. Should I know you?
Yeah, it was like, wait a minute, am I being a total jerk right now?
Yeah, right. Am I being punked?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Are you
guys.
Kenny? And I was like, no.
Well, you know what it is? It's because the audio in the Discord chat sounds different sometimes than our actual voices.
True.
True.
So I was like, I have no idea. I'm just gonna guess the person that is doing the podcast. The
Grandma?
first person that came to mind.
Well, hey, I will say I'll be up for Christmas, so maybe we can schedule a thing together.
Aw.
Yeah, we definitely
Actually,
should.
or even better, maybe an in-person recording of the podcast would be really cool.
Ooh,
that could
table
be
talk.
cool.
Yeah,
A table talk.
Table talk.
Maybe we could do
some
indie
table play.
Yeah, maybe we can do an indie tabletop game.
There you go. Ooh, I like this idea. It'll be liquor miss.
What?
Liquor Miss.
Liquor miss. That's good.
That's not bad. Cool.
Chris drunk.
Chris Dranks.
Chris drank.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we move on?
I think that's it.
No, I mean, yeah, that pretty much covers the current events. Happy Halloween, QWERTYcast listeners.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. I've just been I traveled a little bit in October, and I've been doing Battle and Brew stuff and
Yeah, boy.
doing some directing and the LMP Live in the Living Room stuff.
Those are so good.
That's also on you. Thank you.
Everyone, please check that out on YouTube. LMP Productions, right?
Yeah, LMP Live in the Living Room. If I don't remember if I talked about it last time.
If you want to see where Kenny lives.
yeah. It's we host musical shows in our living room and sometimes poetry. And people come and perform and re-record it, and it's cool. It's kind of like it's got like an NPR vibe, but it's more indie because we don't have money.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
You should,
like
instead of
that.
call it Tiny Desk, just call it Tiny Apartment.
Tiny. Oh yeah, true. We should have done that. All right, but anyway, let's move on to our game that we played.
Hey.
In our Let's Watch segment. This is the part of the podcast where we get you to watch what we played.
Do it.
Last time we played Lethal League Blaze, and you can find that on our YouTube. And this time we played Risk of Rain 2.
Both
Which
sequels.
I think I enjoyed way more than Lethal League.
True.
I mean, there's so much more to it.
I mean, also being co-op and not versus
Yeah.
everyone who's better at the game than you
Well, yeah,
are.
because the competitive aspect was making me lose every match.
Yeah. It's a doozy.
But yeah, Risk of Rain 2. Someone else explain it because I am bad at explaining things.
All right. Basically, I guess. Oh fuck no! I have no idea what I would explain. Okay, Steven, you're up.
So Risk of Rain 2 is kind of like a dungeon crawler rogue style game, but it's all 3D. And the idea is that you are working your way through levels. You have to purchase loot with money that you gain from killing NPCs that are spawning around you. The difficulty gets more and more difficult as the time progresses, and you have to find like a portal. You activate the portal, you fight the big boss, you move on to the next, and it's really just a how far can you get kind of game.
That's an
to a
awesome
point.
description.
That was a great description. But also, this game is currently in early access. Risk of Rain 1 had an ending where you fought the big final boss guy. And like it was like you build up and eventually like the items you get stack. So like you don't lose anything or replace anything. They all stack. So by the time you're fighting this boss guy at the very end, you're super overpowered. But they still manage to keep it really balanced and a huge challenge too. And it's fun to play with friends. And currently, I don't know if this version has an ending in early access, but I think that's the goal.
I was going to say that I'm sure we all have strong opinions about early access, but Risk of Rain's coming from a trusted developer, and we know that they have constant updates to it. So it is one of the few games that I would highly recommend in the early access status.
Very true.
Yeah, they have
What's the developer?
It's okay. Let me Google it real quick because I know it's like Ho-Po, but I think there's two O's somewhere.
Hoppo?
Yes, it's Hoppo Games, or
Hoppo.
I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. It's Hopoo.
Yeah, Hoppo.
Maybe it's
Hopoo.
Maybe it's Hopoo.
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 That's probably Hoppo.
It's a whole poo. No, terrible.
As opposed to a half poo.
Quarter
poo.
But interestingly enough, they actually have an early access forecast currently that goes all the way through spring of 2020, which is something that I really like seeing from these developers because that means they have a very specific timeline.
Agreed.
And I just love the upgrade from the first one to being like 3D and like...
Yeah, the first one was a 2D kind of platformer, not platformer, but 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
And just like the way that they incorporated all of the 2D effects to actually work in a 3-dimensional space. Like one of my favorite weapons is the ice relic that as you kill more people, it like expands around you.
Brother.
So what?
Very good, you?
Good to see you.
Why are you there?
We're recording a podcast.
Oh.
Wait, what's happening?
Well, let's hang out later.
Okay.
we had a barge in.
Yeah, wait, was that somebody else saying?
That was Andres.
Oh, okay. The other Andres. My evil twin.
My roommate Andres. He just came back from Tokyo.
Oh, fuck.
He was shooting a film there.
That's awesome.
Which is really fucking cool. Yeah, shout out to him, Andres Lugo. Go check him out. He's an up-and-coming filmmaker. He's super awesome.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Risk of Rain 2.
Risk of Rain 2, great game. What else? Yeah, just really cool what they do with the space. I love that they're, like you said, with the calendar of updates, they're continuously expanding and like the updates are like big too. Like they're adding a new character for each one, like a new space, a new like big boss for like end of
Big Baps.
Big Baps. Did you see all those Baps all over the game? Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I will put as much time as I can into this game like I did the first.
Same.
Yeah, definitely enjoyable.
What out of in a rating system, how many what's a good one? I'm trying to think.
How many grapples?
How many grapples? How many tweets from my QWERTY birdie?
Yeah, how many tweets from your QWERTY birdie? 5 tweets. How many will-o-wisps out of I don't know.
Oh, right, because will-o-wisp is an item. I forgot about that.
Item. Yay, reference.
How many engineers? Damn it, that's a thing that.
How many engineer turrets out of 2 would you rate this?
Yeah, 2 out of 2 turrets with the shield around it.
Yeah.
I would give it 1 out of 2 for early access, but then it gets +1 for being only $20.
Hey.
So 2 out of 2.
So 2 out of 2.
10 out of 2.
I would give it 2 out of 2 with the healing mushroom attached to it.
Oh,
there you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't move, it'll heal.
Well, what else have you guys been playing besides this game?
So I've recently picked up the Outerworlds, which is a AAA title, but that's okay because it's a fantastic game. Single-player RPG. If anybody's ever played the Fallout series, it's actually by the developers of, in my opinion, and probably most people's opinion, the best version of Fallout, which was Fallout New Vegas.
Interesting.
But it maintains this, stereotypical RPG tropes. But what I really enjoy about this game is that the decision making, at least in my playthrough so far, has not been your typical good versus evil. Everything is real muddy, and so it's kind of like leaving it up to your personal play style and sense of moral ethics. But it's just really, really good storytelling.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love decision-making games.
There's like a lot of like kind of class system hierarchy sort of deal, right?
Well, yeah. So you kind of make your own class using the skill system that they have. So it's kind of like your typical RPG will have like stealth skill sets and tech skill sets and combat skill sets, and so you just kind of pour points into those to kind of flesh out your own class.
I mean, I guess I meant more of like like financially, like within the society, like a class based, like.
Oh yeah, you're talking to the story. Yeah,
Hmm.
so the story of the game is definitely designed to be this like corporate monsters versus the people,
Right.
financial class kind of gameplay, and you can go in any direction you want with that, which I think is fantastic because you talk to a typical person today and they would say they're the people fighting the corporations, but this game doesn't prevent you from trying to be a friend to the companies.
Hmm.
A sellout.
I said no.
But yeah,
As
no,
I
it's,
already
it's
start the game and begin selling out immediately.
you can That's the crazy part. No spoilers because I want everybody to enjoy the game. But there is a decision that you can make relatively early that would completely throw the story into chaos, and it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, cool. Okay, you sold me. I will check it out.
I might just do that.
I like chaos.
Yes, you do.
How about you,
Um,
Andres?
New games, not really, unfortunately. I think I've still just been playing. Well, actually, since our last Let's Play, I played through all of Untitled Goose Game, which was a lot of fun. And I love how that expands, and I love how when you see the bell in the beginning, and then
Ah,
there's just like a whole, like, I don't want to
spoilers.
spoiler, but
Yeah,
that was like the game is just really well rounded, and it was like, yeah, pretty much the only new game I played this month.
yeah.
Um,
So
and
fantastic. I've been loving the memes coming out of that.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say I've seen so many. It's so good.
Yeah.
and I think I've seen the one where, like, that one meme where it's like I think like a pigeon or something, or like a seagull that like caws and then reels its head back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
caws
yeah,
louder.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think they did that for the goose as well.
Yeah, honk.
Yeah, that one was
Honk.
good.
Yeah. Oh god, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's like super inhale and then screech exhale.
Oh god,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to edit that. um, but yeah, no, Untitled Goose Game was a lot of fun. My boyfriend also bought Outer Worlds, right?
Hmm.
For his PS4, our PS4, whatever. And
Is it only a PS4 game?
So
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
available for the PlayStation, the Xbox, and PC. And
Oh,
quick
thank God.
shout out, and I think we might have talked about this in a previous episode, but the Xbox Games Pass, it's available on that pass, so you can actually play it without having to spend any money more than what you're already paying
Fucking
for the pass.
Bet.
Hey,
About to do that.
that's pretty dope.
Right after this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, you have an
technically, I'm-
Xbox?
Please remind me. No, I don't have an Xbox, but I have the Game Pass, which
Yeah.
is available on PC.
So the Outer Worlds is
Oh.
retailing at $60, but because of the Game Pass promotion, technically I've only paid $2 for it.
Wow.
That's so cool.
So yeah, so that's the next game I'm gonna play.
Yeah, same.
That's really dope. What else? I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. How about you,
How about
Kenny?
yeah,
Did you already
Kenny,
talk?
what have you been playing?
I've been playing Smash, and I gotta tell you guys, I've been through like some like fucking anime arcs on my Smash journey
Oh yeah.
because when I first start when I was a kid, I didn't own any consoles. So the only time I really got to play Smash with like at a friend's house or usually at like my cousins, and they always kicked my ass. And
Oh my
I
god,
just
you're
was
so
like,
deprived.
yeah, tell me
My
about it.
poor boy.
Well, that's why I became a PC gamer, and that's why like this podcast exists because like I had such
Aw.
love for the PC games that people didn't have necessarily on the consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my Smash journey has gone, the first Smash that I've ever owned was the one on the Switch.
Nice.
And I've just been playing that a lot and like trying to make up for lost time basically, and like realizing different things each time, and like kind of going through like, oh man, like I just raised my baseline, or like, oh man, I just like learned this new move, like, and it's like different things happen each time, and like I'll message someone, I'll be like, all right, let's fight, and then like it's always a new battle because not only am I learning like their new moves, but I've learned my own new moves, and it's just getting more and more interesting and more fun to play because I feel like I can actually play at a decent competitive level where I'm not just losing all the time, which is what I used to do.
Nice.
It always feels
and-
good when you know how to play a game really well.
Right?
Exactly. And like the best part is playing people that think they're good, like or are traditionally not think they're good, but like are traditionally good in their friend groups, and then they play me. And then, like, I had this happen at Battle and Brew because I played one of my coworkers, and he was like, "All right, man, all right, you're a good challenge. I'll have to play you again. That was fun." And I was like, "Cool." And I couldn't help but think, like, man, I fucking wish you could see the people I trained with that are just like still miles better than me.
Right.
But it's a good feeling, of course. But then, aside from that, I still haven't finished Celeste. I haven't had time to pick it back up and sit down. Which is ironic because I've had a lot of time. All that time has been going to me playing Fire Emblem on the Switch.
Oh, right. 3 Houses or something?
Yeah.
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, that game's super fun.
Really terrible things.
What?
Really?
Yeah, so like, and I'm not dissing the game because I know that a lot of people really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I picked it up because I love the Fire Emblem franchise, and I am super disappointed because the part of the game that I enjoy is the combat, and then they turned the whole outside of combat into like a high school simulator, and I'm not enjoying it.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as my first Fire Emblem game, I didn't know what I was missing out on, so I've been enjoying it personally.
Oh yeah, I could totally see if that's your first Fire Emblem ever, then yeah, you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, it was cool, and it's got some interesting decision making things that happen because there's a big twist that happens in the game.
Yeah, and even at the very beginning, the decision that you make early on could go 3 different ways. Yeah, one of 3 ways.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
changes
the
the
house
game.
you choose.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and I chose the Blue Lions, and I've been loving them, and their story arc is super interesting.
I picked them too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm just gonna say just Dedue, man. Dedue is the man.
Dedue.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, and super male anime gamer, but they also had some of the nicest female characters on the team.
That's true. I could see that. Yeah, well, you know what it is, because like Mercedes has like that nice like luscious hair, but then Annie is like the really like cute like adorable like
Timid.
high schooler, yeah. And then
I'm gonna like Google this now because I want to know what she looks like.
Yeah.
Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem.
But yeah,
but Felix is a really cool character. He's probably one of the strongest swords people in the game. And then anyway, I've been really enjoying playing that, and I love the combat and the tacticalness of it. But then I picked up Felix the Reaper because I've been kind of excited for that. Yeah,
Nice.
not familiar with that.
Felix the Reaper is it's interesting. It's not totally what I expected, but it's more of a puzzle game. And you are basically a Grim Reaper, but he's kind of chubby. He's wearing a nice suit, but like a suit vest and like nice pants, and he's got headphones on. He's always listening to music and always dancing. So anytime you move him, he like does a dance into it, like so he'll like jump and spin, and like it's a really cute animation every time. But basically, like the goal is like you have to alter, or at least as far as the game I've gotten in, is you alter like the position of the sun because you can't touch the sun, in order to set up death for other things.
Oh,
That's interesting.
this does look really cute.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. I haven't gotten very far into it. It's actually really challenging, so I stopped a little bit. But
Nice.
I do plan to keep trying and pick up again. But yeah,
Cool.
Felix Reaper.
I think there were some games that I really want to check out that I think Steven was talking about in the first episode. So I'm probably going to go back to listen to that to see what
I
those
know.
were.
I was thinking that too. Actually, even just listening to the second one, there was stuff that I remember hearing. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to check that out. That was cool.
And then I think the only other game that I'm probably going to get soon, get next, is Luigi's Mansion 3 or 2,
Yeah.
whatever.
Just today, right?
I think so.
It's out.
It's out now, yeah. But I'm like really, really hoping that it's not a disappointment.
Pokemon is my next one.
Oh yeah, Pokemon as well.
Is also my next one.
So we'll see what happens with that. I guess I'm gonna.
Sword
Are you
or
guys
shield?
sword or shield?
Shield.
I'm gonna go with sword.
All right, 2 shielders.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Cool, we'll have to
perfect.
trade
Then we'll
Pokemon.
be able to trade shit.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 5 people at work who are also going to be picking it up.
Nice. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I
One
hope
of
it
the
like.
advantages of working in the science field is everybody's a nerd.
Yeah, right. Everyone's a nerd. I always say that to people who are when I interview people at work too. Is that I'm just like, oh, everyone here is a nerd about something because we're like a communication school, so
Right.
everyone nerds about something else. But yeah, was that your mark that we should move on to the next segment?
Yeah. This is that part of the podcast where Steven keeps us up with what's happening in news.
Yes. So, in the indie news, recent news, I should say, because it's not necessarily this week, but I just wanted to cover a couple topics. So, first and foremost, are you guys familiar with Humble Bundle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Humble Bundle is definitely a favorite of mine. And this week they are actually...
Why didn't you explain it for people who don't know?
This is a good point. Yeah, thank you, Kenny, for keeping me in the podcast mood. So Humble Bundle is a service where you can actually purchase bundles of games for kind of like your own price. You pick how much you want to pay. And they have tiers, so as long as you clear a certain value, you'll then get that set of games. But all of the money, well, not all of the money, but a large portion of the money that goes to the bundles goes to a specific charity. So it's kind of difficult to understand verbally, but the easiest way for me to kind of get it across is right now they have a Day of the Devs bundle, which is explicitly for indie games, which I thought was really neat. So Day of the Devs is a free indie game event held in San Francisco, and it's hosted by Double Fine, which I thought was hilarious because if I'm not mistaken, Double Fine is technically no longer an indie games developer because they are part of the Microsoft Studios, if I remember correctly. But either way, so because of that event in San Francisco, Humble Bundle has released a bundle where you can pick up a couple of the indie games that they are featuring from that event. And so, like, for $1, you can pick up Frog Detective, The Haunted Island, and you can also get Art Squall, which looks insane. And if anybody has an opportunity, they should just go check it out because the style of the game is just really wacky. It's like 3D bubbly. I don't even know how to explain it. It's nuts. But
here we go.
If you jump up to $4.69 currently, you get another 2 games, and then there's an even higher set for $9. And it kind of just unlocks those games as you clear that value. And this week they are donating to Extra Life. So that's the charity that all the money will go to. And Extra Life is a service. I think they partner with Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So they give like sick and injured kids a lot of support, which is really cool.
Cool.
And I
that's awesome.
believe that you can actually, unless it's changed, it used to be that you can decide how much money goes to the charity, the developers, and Humble Bundle themselves.
Oh, yeah, you are correct. So there's like a little slider when you go to pay, and you can actually designate explicitly how much you want to go to each. I think there's other situations where there's a set percentage, but for the bundles, you're right. You can actually slide and tell specifically how much you want to go where, which is a really cool feature because you can kind of know exactly where your money's going when you buy into these.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think I've followed Humble Bundle maybe since the beginning, but like definitely early on, at least like 8 years now.
I've definitely gotten a couple games from them.
Yeah,
and they actually
bundles.
They serve almost as like if anybody's familiar with like those boxes that you can kind of buy like loot box.
Oh yeah.
So now they have a version of that where you can pay like a $12 a month fee and just get like a curated set of games. So yeah, if you haven't heard of Humble Bundle, check it out, humblebundle.com. They usually have a lot of great sales, and most of the time it's going to be Steam keys. So if you're on PC, it connects to the largest platform for video games currently.
Nice.
Okay, so
Take
outside of that,
Epic Gaming. No,
yeah, right. Well, hey, who knows? It might switch, but
Yeah,
for right
right.
now, Steam still has the numbers.
True.
Outside of that, I just have two other short ones to talk about. So,
Nice.
specifically the Switch, and I think I talk about this pretty much every time we've discussed indie games because it is such a popular platform for the indie game to kind of launch on. Right now, one of the things that's in the news is the topic of discounts for Switch games, specifically from the indie developers. What has been happening is the Switch store has been getting these ridiculously huge discounts on some indie games. An example of that, and I had it listed here.
Really?
Draw a Stickman Epic 2 was a indie game that was released on the Switch, and it got like a 30% discount, but some have been even higher than that. Like games have dropped down to like 99 cents, 30 cents.
Oh.
And somebody went in and investigated that, and they found out that when a game on the Switch drops off of the hot seller list or the featured list, it pretty much disappears. And so what the developers have been doing is they've been putting these huge discounts on their game to kind of get them back up on the shop's main viewable page so that they can continue to get sales of the game.
That's pretty clever.
So
That is
one of the
awesome.
things for us as gamers is if you have a Switch and you like playing indie games on it, keep an eye out on the Great Deals page. Chances are that you're going to find a large number of indie games for a ridiculously discounted price. And if there's a
Yeah.
game specifically that you want to get that's not currently discounted, but you're okay waiting, it might get discounted.
I have like a bunch of games on my wish list, but I don't know if I get notifications of them going on sale.
That's a good
Because
question. We should probably look into that.
kinda
It'd be
want
cool
to,
if you
yeah.
could get the
I'm not sure.
notification.
Yeah,
I know with I think you do.
with the Switch.
I think so.
Because I have maybe they just have never gone on sale. I have
Maybe
like
I'm
a
thinking of
handful or
Steam.
more.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know Steam, like when you put it on like your wish list, it'll pop up if it ever goes on sale. But it'd be cool if you could
Yeah.
do that with the Switch. I'll have to look into that. Maybe that'll be like a callback next week. I'll talk about that.
Yeah, please.
And the last thing, and this is real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Apple Arcade released,
I've heard
I
of it.
think, in September. But the idea is that they're trying to launch it alongside their iPhone 11. And the idea is that you pay like a monthly fee and you get a huge list of curated games specifically for the mobile platform. And a lot of these games are indie games, just small developers that are just posting mobile games. And they're pretty high quality too. So if anybody has an iPhone and they're interested, I think it's only like $5 a month, but you can see some really cool indie games on your phone.
I also recently learned, speaking on that you can now, with the newest iPhone update, the newest iOS patch or whatever, you can sync Bluetooth controllers like Xbox and PlayStation Bluetooth controllers to your iPhone, so you don't have to use your finger to play a game. You can play with a controller.
Have you guys heard of Google Stadia?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be similar where you're going to be able to like basically game bigger games on your phone, but like you can also use a controller if you want to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely really interested in the Stadia or Stadia. I'm not sure how it's. I think I keep calling it Stadia because I think it sounds cool, but you're right. It should be Stadia. But
I've
yeah,
heard Stadia.
that's something that I'm interested in. That technology has been kind of the conversation of how they expect the gaming market to eventually evolve into this like virtualized gaming platforms that you can kind of stream to any device and somewhere else all of the processing power is taking place. It's an interesting concept, and it'll probably be very expensive at first. I don't know what Stadia is currently charging for their service, but I'll keep an eye on that.
Wow,
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Well, that's good. See, this is like my favorite part of the podcast. I learned so much from your segment.
Well, that's the hopes. Is I'm trying to get you guys all educated on what's happening. I'll definitely come with some conversation points for Stadia next week because that is something that's going to be really important for us to all kind of understand. Because I have a feeling that a lot of the major gaming industry platforms are going to start releasing their own versions of that.
Oh my god! Everyone has to come out with their own thing.
Basically.
Definitely.
That's the economy we live in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In this economy.
And this economy.
But anyway, that is the indie game news.
And now I guess it's time for indie games in pop culture. Because I hear the
You know
bops.
that sound.
Yeah. It's my favorite
This
sound.
is the part of the podcast where Andres tells us what's hip, what's hot,
What's
in
hippity
indie pop.
hoppity. Give me the Zappity. So for mine, I got really lucky because this past Friday, I was able to visit a really cool event in Philadelphia. Basically, this was the 3rd annual Indie Arcade. It's organized by the Philly Game Mechanics, and it was hosted this year at Color Space Labs, which is like an artists collective, and they do like a first Friday event of every month. And I know some of the guys that run it, and I knew some people like our co-friends, our mutual friends, Tyler and Scott, who did their game, Smash Rockets. So they brought it there, and that's why I went. And I was like, why don't I just use this opportunity to actually talk to some of the game devs who were there and tell them about the podcast, and also just learn more about their own games. So basically, Philly Game Mechanics is a charitable organization focused on supporting game development and indie game enthusiasts in Philadelphia. They organize meetings, game jams, and other events like that to help the community. So it's like all about indie games. And then this was an interactive showcase where they got all local animators, game designers, and 3D artists who have their own games. The featured games were this thing called the Phillytron, which was like an arcade cabinet that somebody had made. And then there was also Loop Thesis, Sons of Ra, The Come Up, Fallen Angel, Smash Rockets by our friends, and Underground Arcade Collective that had a few games under their belt. And then Clusterpuck and Roly Poly. So if
what is it about that word clusterfuck that encourages people? Because there's also Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck, is that a game?
Yeah, that's a game that's out there.
And there was
you're running across the top of trucks, trying to survive as long as you're trying to get from point A to the point B by running across the top of moving chaotic trucks.
Ooh, that sounds really cool.
And wasn't there another game that had this similar title, but it was about like chickens and like hover ships killing each other? Hold on.
Was it Cluster
Continue.
Cluck?
I think it was Cluster Cluck, honestly.
God damn it.
So I was going to say real quick, if you want to read up on the plots of these games, you can probably find the event still on Color Space Labs Facebook page. The event was posted on October 15th, so it's most likely going to stay there because that has the plots for all the games. So I got the chance to play about half of the games, and the turnout was like really, really good. So I ended up just like talking to a lot of game devs and watching people play their games. One of my favorite games that I got to play was called Loop Thesis, like I said before, which is basically you had to solve puzzles where you utilize time travel. And it's like kind of a bit like Braid in that sense, where you have to like set up certain things and then rewind time and then like still kind of play with your own actions within like time. But
that sounds cool.
It kind of had like a Persona 4 inspiration because you actually have to shoot yourself dead to turn back time.
Wow, spoilers.
But the art style is really cute, so it's not overkill, pun intended. And Fallen Angel was really cool too. It moved a lot like Hyper Light Drifter, which it like looked a little like that too, but like much darker.
Do you know who the developers of these?
Yeah, so
games
for Loop Thesis, I got like everyone's cards that I could. So for Loop Thesis, it was by a guy named Daniel Shumway, and you can actually just go to loop-thesis.com. For Fallen Angel, it was by Matryoshka Games, and they have that matryoshka.com, games.com.
How do you spell Troishka?
It was Matryoshka Games. So I'm not sure how I want to feature this. I guess anyone listening, if you want to know more about it, email us. I'll plug the email later as well, but email us at Qwertycastmail@gmail.com if you want to know more.
We can also put it in like the episode description.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That might be easier, but email us anyways, just to like say hi.
Say hi. Tell us how's your day going, as long as it has to do with games. No.
Yeah, and supporting all of those indie game developers is really cool too, because these are the people that are probably going to be huge name developers later.
Right, yeah. And all of their games looked really well polished. Like it looked like everything played really well. I didn't get to play it, but I saw some of The Come Up, which was by a guy named Robert Nally. So Robert Nally with 2Ls.com. That's where all his stuff is. And that one actually kind of reminded me of Risk of Rain 2, like in the 3D sort of look. And it was an exploratory game. There was Clusterpuck, which was a huge hit, which had like a whole lot of people. There was like 8 people playing. I think it was on the Switch actually. And I believe it was developed by one of the guys who actually runs Philly Game Mechanics. But that one was basically kind of like Rocket League in the sense that you have to like score goals, but it's like it's a Clusterpuck. And Roly Poly was really, really cute. It's like also an exploratory game. You play as a Roly Poly, like the bug. And
cool.
My favorite part was that all of the bottle caps and other small things were really big to the Roly Poly in comparison.
Oh, that's adorable.
And then the Underground Arcade Collective had a bunch of games. Basically all short play games that had like a 2D side-scrolling platforming feel to it. It kind of reminded me of a mix of like Undertale and that older Mario game with Birdo, where they introduced Birdo. But the one game I played from them was called Big Hug, where you actually go around hugging monsters into submission. You have to like...
This is different than Grandma's Big Hug 4.
Yeah, exactly, that I talked about last time. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, this is not a AAA title like Grandma's Big Hug 4.
Okay.
And then last but not least was Smash Rockets, which is a game created by our personal friends, Tyler and Scott. And earlier we sat down with an interview to interview them, and we're just going to insert that in the podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome to our first ever Qwertycast interview. So we're here sitting with 2 of the creators of an indie video game called Smash Rockets. I'm here with Kenny. Well, yeah, sitting, casting across the vastness of the ether web. And I'm here with Kenny, and I'll just let you guys introduce yourselves. Can you guys tell us about who you are and what this game is?
Sure. Hi, I'm Scott. I made this game in conjunction with Tyler. We kind of been on and off building it for about probably like 2 years, and I'd say as far as principal development, we're about 4 months in. Yeah, that's basically it for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I'm Tyler. I'm also here with Scott. Scott mainly did a lot of the code work, and I worked on the art and sound design portions of it. And yeah, we're working together as a team to kind of try to make this thing happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Well, that answers all of the questions that we had, so thanks everyone for coming.
Wow, has it been an hour already?
No.
Well, so could you guys tell us a little bit about the game itself?
Like, what is the game, and how do you play?
Sure.
For anyone who hasn't played.
Sure. So, Smash Rockets, we're calling it a physics-based brawler. So there's some aspects to it that are kind of like familiar with some of your mobile games. Like there's only 2 buttons that control it, and there's some aspects like that we pulled from like kind of like Smash Bros, which is you have to be the last one standing on a platform. So the idea is again to knock everyone off the platform, and you play as these little squares that we call our Smash Rockets. And when you press one key, you will always fly to a black hole that sits above our platform. And when you press another key, you will always fly at your opponent. When you fly, you spend fuel. When you land, you get that fuel back. And yeah, it's just a matter of managing your opponent's fuel and your fuel and trying to keep them from getting on the platform and knocking them off.
Ooh, I love a good momentum-based game.
So it's 2019, and indie games are getting more recognition than ever. Did this influence your drive to create this game, or did it stem from something else entirely? Like, why were you like, you know what, Smash Rockets, let's make it?
Sure. So, sorry, I feel like I'm taking all the questions here, Tyler, but I can feel this one too.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so this was like I'm not a game developer. I'm a web developer, and I work in web, but I always have been playing video games forever, and I've always been a fan, and I have ideas floating around in my head. And originally, this was actually going to be like a sumo game. I wanted to make something where I wanted it to be mobile, and I wanted it to be just like really simple controls, 2 buttons tops, right? So, you were asking how kind of like the indie space in 2019 influenced us, but I guess really for me it was just like when the idea hit me, I just had to get it out there, you know. And I frequently bounce ideas off of Tyler, so that's how we kind of connected and started working on this together. And I'm like, you know, Tyler, if you want to contribute to this, I'd love you to. We could work together. And yeah, I can, if you want to kind of speak to that.
Yeah, and just to add on to that real quick,
Yeah.
like I feel if anything, the 2019 indie scene kind of helped like stoke the fire in a sense of like it's cool having it be received well if we take it into like a public space or like a convention or whatever. Like we make it and we like it, and then we see that other people like it, and that's kind of reassuring. It's nice.
Yeah.
Where have you guys showcased it?
So a small expo in Atlantic City called Gamicon is where we showed it off. And believe it or not, I was just personally going to attend because again, I'm pretty into the indie scene. And I looked it up and I was like, man, you know what? It's about the same cost to exhibit as it is to show off. So why don't we just take our game there, get some play testing, and get the feel for it and see how everyone you know is handling it. So you know, I booked a booth and we went in and we exhibited there, and then they gave us free admission to a place in Queens, the Resorts Casino, and we exhibited at Gamicon in New York, and you know that was our two cons we've done, and recently we did the Indie Arcade in Philly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll go for
what
it.
have the what have the reactions been like from those?
Yeah, so going to these games is actually like, or exhibiting at these cons, it was actually really like reassuring because like I knew that we liked it, and I knew that it was really tough to explain the controls, but once you play them, you kind of understand it. So like watching it kind of get validated and seeing people give a crap about the game, you know, publicly was actually, you know, it lit a fire under our butt, you know, and it really got us like, okay, we can actually ship this, we can do this, we can get this live, you know.
Oh, that's dope. I mean, well, how long have you guys been working on the game? And could you tell us a little bit about the process and, I mean, from either perspective?
And challenges that you've had to face, like just along the way, if any.
Sure.
Yeah, making an indie game is incredibly easy.
Completely flawless process.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, from let me put it this way: from my perspective, like you guys were like, "Hey, we just made this game, Smash Rockets." Like right when it was like very early on, and I was like, "Wow, did they like? How long have they been doing this?" It was just like popped out,
Right?
And I thought, man, like can I just do this like off the bat? Or
Yes, you can. Honestly, like so, there's a lot of work that gets into a game after you've prototyped a working game. You know, so like largely where we're at is we've kind of fleshed out like the physics and the gameplay and all that, but like the bigger part of the work is the wrapper that you're putting it in and the refinement. Like we knew that we had something that was fun to play and I could send links around in probably 5 days, you know, and like after that it's really just been expanding and like working on that core thing and building like a lobby system around it, building the full gameplay loop. Like all the fun work is almost done in a way, and it's more traditional work I feel like at this point, which is kind of a bummer, but it's also kind of the reality of building a game is that after you've built the hook and the fun part, you have to wrap it and turn it into a game that's packageable and sellable and all that. But I mean, that's not to discourage. Like it's fun, but you know, yeah.
Like
You're asking how long does it take to put it together? Not long. You can prototype things really quickly and get them out there and see if they're good. And if they're good enough, you can push them forward and make them a thing. Yeah. So
do you have any? Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. So to kind of go on that, I was thinking about like when Tyler and I started collaborating on it. It's like, hey, I have this thing at Smash Rockets. It's just bright yellow with black boxes, and I'm like, I kind of have this idea that when you fly, you spin the core fuel, and then I'm like bouncing ideas off Tyler, and we slowly kind of refined it and gave it this visual look that I think we constantly get compliments on, and it's really encouraging. So if you want to speak a little to that, Tyler, and kind of maybe the art process.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's almost exactly what I wanted to talk about like a second ago. Like the way it really just, all of it on the whole became a really iterative process where we came up with an idea and we're like, all right, this kind of works as a core loop. How do we add to this and make this better? And the same thing kind of happened with the art in the sense that we took a while to kind of decide on a firm aesthetic because while we were prototyping it, everything was just like a simple shape or like a box. And it's like, well, what's the background? I don't know, just put it in space. And then we're like looking and looking until one day we came across this really kind of striking image, kind of reminiscent of like a little bit of 80s aesthetic where it's like this rainbow sky and these like purples and oranges and yellows and all this stuff, and we're like, oh my god, this is it, this is the look. So from there we kind of applied it as like a starting point, and then I was like, okay, now that I know the basic aesthetic is going to look like this, we're like, how can we expand on that? Maybe it's like a maybe everything's like a clunky rocket. Maybe all the buildings are cobbled together, kind of like a one thing we coined was like Mad Max in space, or like space junkers is something we talked about.
Yeah.
So kind of taking that as a springboard and jumping off with ideas layered on that kind of informed how we made the rockets look, because they went from being just squares of different colors to now each little ship has a little bit of personality to it, and like that opens up opportunities for us to make stories and all that kind of good stuff that everybody likes.
Do the ships actually have any differences between them, or is that something you're hoping to put in later on?
Only aesthetics.
Yeah, they don't right now in their like functional properties, just purely in aesthetics.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's tough to. One thing we always have kind of a challenge with is these rockets are very small, and the large majority of the rocket's visual is spent on the core. And when you're flying around, the core will deplete, and that will indicate how much fuel you have left. When you land, that fuel fills back up, all that stuff. So basically, it's actually been challenging to come up with. Like, I'm trying to think, like, to you're saying, is there any difference between the rockets and how we'd add that and what that would look like? Because you'd obviously have to telegraph that to your opponents so that they know, oh, this is a heavy ship, it's going to impart more force, or this is fast, or this has these capabilities. But we've kind of spent our entire visual budget on describing how much fuel is left, so I'm almost intimidated to add anything else to that, and I wouldn't expect it to read well, you know? So, yeah, they're all the same, because we may have written ourselves into a hole.
Yeah, I feel like the only way to really like add something like that, you'd have to almost add those onto the player names or something like that. It'd have to be separate from the ship, and then that's a whole other can of worms. So
plus there's something nice about, you know, we always, Tyler and I get in these discussions about gameplay philosophies, and like I always like games where you're handed everything from the onset. And I'm not saying specifically Tyler, but a lot of other people enjoy games where you have progression and your time in the game kind of indicates your capabilities. Like I'm thinking like, I don't know, Diablo off the top of my head, Destiny 2. Like the longer you spend with these games, the more capable you become. And personally to me, I like games like Rocket League and Counter-Strike where you are given a tool set and you work with that tool set and you get better personally at using the tools rather than your time in the game allowing you to be a better player. So and when my game comes along and I have a question of, you know, can these be different? No, I kind of want them all to be the same so that they can use their abilities and learning how to manipulate this unique code control scheme as opposed to, you know, different stats, basically.
Oh, that's pretty
cool. Just a personal thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Smash Rockets can currently be found at smashrockets.com, spelled normally. Do you guys have any plans to expand, like Switch, Steam, mobile, or any of that? Like, what does the future hold for Smash Rockets?
Yeah, I know you said that it's meant to be a mobile game, but I believe it's not mobile ready yet.
Well, it's not exactly meant to be a mobile game as much as I envisioned it initially as a mobile game, and I've realized over time that it's probably not leaning that direction. I mean, it's accessible and playable online, and I have done some work on the camera and getting it to work in mobile, but you get very, very small rockets, because can you imagine playing Smash in portrait on your phone? You know? That's kind of where we're at with that, and as you know, the mobile web looks really bad in landscape. So it's, you know, like there's your back buttons along the bottom. This is a web game, if I haven't been clear. I figured I should put that out there as I'm talking about, like, why are they talking about the browser?
Mac and PC, so
Mac, PC, Linux, Samsung Internet, you name it. We can play on anything.
Linux, Winix, Tinix.
Yeah.
Wumbo.
Mini. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean...
we have fun here.
We have fun, right. Do you... I'm not sure... I wasn't sure if... did you have any other things you wanted to say about the future of Smash Rockets?
Sure. Right now we're working on on like optimizations in the lobby build. Right now, when you go to SmashRockets.com, you'll show right up on the game. You can join in, you can start a game. But our hope is that there's an outer wrapper around that, which we're calling the lobby build, which will have, ability to get a private match, ability to choose which game you join. There's a little chat feature, little announcements. So right now we have our landing page and we have the website, but we're trying to, I prefer there to be a lobby so that people can choose what they do before they get thrown right into a game. That's what we're working on next, and that's what I'm most excited about right now, I think.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Can you guys talk a little bit about the music at all? You have kind of I know you have a little track going on there right now, but is there any plans to expand upon that, or is this kind of what you're settling on right now, or and how did you settle on it?
I hear that 8-second loop in my dreams, but I'll let Tyler speak to the audio.
Yeah, I could kind of feel that one. Like, I think we're all hearing that in our sleep. Like, honestly, it was just
Did
some
you make
placeholder. I didn't make it, but it was some placeholder, like Creative Commons music that I found that I put in, and we felt like it suited the mood. And so it's just been the backing track for like ages and ages. And I feel like eventually we can swap it out for like maybe a small suite of like music or like something. I don't think whatever ultimate music ends up being in there has to be anything super drawn out or really overcomplicated and overscored, because the main focus is going to be on the sound design of the actual matches, but and like hitting your opponents and how much fuel you have and what's going on with the actual rockets. But that's not to say we can't have good music.
Right.
But it has to hashtag suit the mood.
Yes, absolutely.
There might even be different music per level and all that too. Like we're down the raid, we're planning on adding more maps and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm sure it'll be
per
level.
How are those gonna vary as far as like the terrain, or is that gonna just be like different backgrounds?
I think if we add another, it's probably gonna see. I'm thinking to Rocket League, and when like they added the round map and the map with the bi levels, the Neo Tokyo and Wasteland, for those of you who are a big fan, those maps kind of divided the community. So I always worry about having different maps and how they're going to affect gameplay. And if it gets really competitive, will they just want like are we going to basically work our way into Final Destination in Smash Bros? Or should we have the variety? And some people like the variety, some people don't. So I think that's probably the best answer. Yes, I plan on changing things. I don't exactly know what that looks like yet, though.
Yeah, because I feel like anything you add like that could just be an option in the sense of like, there's stages, but you can also limit the stages that are showing up in your lobby or whatever.
One trapping of design is to try and come up with the exact optimal answer for everything, but in reality, everyone just wants options, and sometimes it's hard to remind yourself of that. It's like, oh, they're not actually looking to play it the way you want. I think the mod scene in the PC gaming can speak to that immensely. It's like if you want Sonic and Skyrim, it's happening.
Yeah, so true.
As if it hasn't already.
But speaking of your fans a little bit too, I mean, it seems that you've gotten anyway a pretty decent following on social media and Discord. And how has your fan base influenced the game? Do you have any shout outs that you want to, shout out to? Anyone who's like really like helped you along the way, or?
Well, I'm having trouble speaking to our large social media network. I don't really know that we have a tremendous amount. We have a lot of people, and they're very supportive. And I found them through other like networking things. Like I'm active on Discord in the web dev community. We actually have a person from Austria who's helping immensely work on this team. I don't know if you guys know that, if I ever mentioned that to you. But yeah, we have a guy on the team out there who I've met through these communities, and honestly, it's just nice to be like making a web game and having a lot of people who are very experienced with the web there to support me. That's been great. So I guess
That's
our
really
Discord
nice.
is fantastic because I can just post things in there. I can mention playtesters, and like I would recommend if you're ever like trying to get like a community, start with a Discord. It's the most useful to you as a developer because like I can solicit so much feedback and get a lot of like real time like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Is this a dumb idea? Is this great? So, shout outs. Tora has been a huge help. Canavar, of course, has been helping with the lobby build. I'm, of course, going to forget people. Lost and Jonas. And there's just all these wonderful people who have come on to that. Just Polar Bear. Yeah, have come on to this Discord and, like, has just helped us play. And, hey, I need someone to do this. I'm going to test the server out. We're going to make change. That's another wonderful thing about the web is that I can just iterate on that server and we can play instantly. Like everyone is available to play test my build I'm working on actively. That's really cool, and I don't know if any other style of game development will give you that opportunity.
True.
So it's pretty rad.
That is rad.
Well, we have 2 fun questions we wanted to end on as well. Or at least maybe a little more fun, because you know how much fun we don't have here. We don't have fun here.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
We contradicted ourselves earlier. We don't actually have it.
It's in the bylaws of Qwertycast. Well, I wanted to ask you guys, what are your favorite indie games, or maybe even like what may have inspired, but mostly what are your favorite indie games, both of you?
Ooh.
I can ramble at will, so let me know. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to speak first, Tyler.
Top 3 or top
I'll
5?
squeeze in there first. I think lately, Hyper Light Drifter probably. Man, I dumped a ton of hours into that when it came out. Dead Cells to kind of get that grindy loop on. I wouldn't say it has the same feel as Binding of Isaac, but it's kind of got that roguelike repetitiveness to it that I like, where it's like the slow build up of power, that kind of thing. I think recently those are probably the 2 I dumped the most time into. I'm really personally excited for Heart Machine's new game. I think it's Solar Ash Kingdom. Like that's like if you took
wait, is that also Hyperlight?
Yeah, it's the same guys. It's like if you take that style and ramp it up even more, and it just looks so great. Satisfactory, I guess too. Oh man, Satisfactory.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Sounds true to the name.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing you talking about that a bunch recently.
I played that one a lot with Tyler. That's a good one.
Yeah.
it's just automation and just optimizing automation, and you just look up a trailer. It's like nothing else.
Yeah, it's like building.
Oh, it is like something else. It's like 3D or Factorio.
Yeah. And it's basically about just like building and maintaining this factory that is, I guess, satisfactory to you. I don't know if that's the intended pun or not.
The great shtick of it too is you're taking all of these resources you're building. So you're basically sent down to the planet to just take all of its resources and just drain it, bleed it dry.
Oh, you mean Steven Universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. You're actually from. You're actually from that universe.
You're actually from the gem world.
Play Peridot.
Yeah.
And you send it up a space elevator. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Okay.
So,
good.
Scott, do you kind of have like the same list as Tyler, or do you have a different list?
There was some that I thought he was definitely going to mention. I'm surprised you didn't mention Celeste. That's one of my all-time favorite indies.
I've been playing.
I wanted to leave you some.
No problem. I guess I'm trying to really tread the line on how I'm going to call indie. I guess there's no point in really doing that, but like I know Kerbal's published, but Kerbal's a fantastic indie game. Tyler mentioned Isaac. Isaac's fantastic.
See, that's actually interesting that you're bringing that up, because that's a conversation we've been having a lot since we started the podcast. As like what designates indie versus not indie.
Right.
Well, I guess it could truly be independently published. That if you want to go right down the line, then there's like quote unquote AA. Like Psionics used to be, Rocket League used to be an indie game, but now it's owned by Epic, so I call it a AA.
I like that.
You know, AA is a fun term for like the smaller big games.
Which is funny because AA is a bigger battery than AAA. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a little dizzy, but you make sense. Shout out to Zachtronics games. Have you guys ever played like TIS 100, Shenzhen, Opus Magnum?
I don't think so.
Zachtronics have a really big claim to fame, and they made a game called Infiniminer, which was then cloned by a guy named Notch, which went on to become the game Minecraft. You know, so if you want to see like proto Minecraft, it's Infiniminer. Zachtronics did it first. They're fantastic.
Wow.
You gotta be a real programming nut to like their games. There's some like Opus Magnum which plays a little differently. I never remember if it's Magnum Opus or Opus Magnum. I think it's Opus Magnum. But yeah, their whole suite of games are all about like optimizing, building little like efficient systems. Like Shenzhen is about making electronics in China. TIS 100 is about like spinning up a machine and writing assembly code. I'm trying to think of other. They just released another one recently. There's one about hacking in the 90s. They're great games. They're a lot of fun.
Ooh, I kind of want to like make a segment about video games for different types of people now, because this is like all like video games for programmers, yada yada. That seems really interesting.
Oh man,
it sounds like a fun segment.
You get real interesting interviews out of that.
Ooh, okay.
Feel free to tap my brain for indie games for these guys.
That's not gonna hurt. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
brains don't have nerves. Sorry.
No, you're thinking right.
Yeah. All right,
I think
Kenny.
we're close.
So swinging it back really quick to Smash Rockets,
Mm-hmm.
and just taking it a different direction entirely. What has been like something that you really have not liked about doing this process, if anything?
Huh. I think I spoke to this a little in the beginning.
We
It's-
want the antagonistic arc of
Yeah.
Smash Rockets.
I
basically.
lied to you. These aren't fun questions anymore.
No, I'm not saying like
Oh,
I
no.
think we talked about this in the beginning. Stop making me repeat myself. It's not like that. So the lobby and building like the prototyping games is a lot of fun. I do that all the time. A portion of my job is like building interactive web games, like spin the wheel and receive a prize, pop 5 balloons to win. I build that kind of stuff probably once a month. So I love to just prototype small games, and it's funny. Like Smash Rockets actually started as a chat client, and then I just I took that chat client and used that pipeline to build a multiplayer game.
That's so
You know,
funny.
so like it's fun to hack at things, and it gets a lot more serious and starts to feel a lot more like work when you have to wrap that in a real game. And like I said, yeah, like the lobby has been a little bit arduous, but like it's worth it because like when it's done, we're gonna have a good platform for people. But yeah, the fun is building the game, and the work is building the infrastructure for the game. So that's probably the biggest bummer, but it's not that bad.
Nice. That's fair.
Gotcha.
I feel like I pretty much agree with that. It says like my gripe isn't even directly about Smash Rockets. It's more that like, oh, I can't port the art and
Yes.
sound and things I think of directly from my brain into
Yeah.
the game. Like, I wish I could kind of, in a sense, I kind of can, is I can put things in Git and like iterate on them. But like like sometimes I just want to try a bunch of things out, and the process of getting them into the game or seeing if things gel or not is
So
a little
let's-
bit longer of a process than I'd like.
To make that like concrete, right?
Yeah.
Like what he's saying there, like right now we would love to add effects to the tube in the portal. The tube that when you go through the center of the platform in Smash Rockets, you'll be topped up instantly, so you'll get full fuel plus 50%, and you'll be accelerated out the other side, right? I'd love to add a visual to the center of that tube, but what's ahead of that visual? To get that visual in, I'm working on porting the graphics library to another library that's WebGL compliant for performance reasons, and to do that, we need to finish the lobby build. So we're working on the lobby to get that in, and to get the lobby done, we're working on another thing, and it just goes down a chain. So it's always a bummer because we really are always thinking about gameplay, and we're really always working on things that are dependencies of gameplay. So that's definitely the bummer.
There's just like things in the way of other things, like a horrible Jenga tower knotted design thing that you have to solve to get to step B and
Oh
C
my
and
God.
D.
So if we could get our brain thinking about the further out steps or the closer steps, we'd probably be moving better on the animation and such. But Yeah.
But hey, we're looking at the horizons. That's, I don't know, that's motivational, right?
Yeah, horizons are beautiful.
Chin up.
Okay, well, I think this would be a good spot to start to wrap it up. So I just wanted to ask you guys, thank you so much, one, for interviewing with us. I really
course.
liked this. I think this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, one. I
Thank
think
you,
two. Fuck you, three.
Thank you. Oh no.
So where?
We're legally obligated
One's
to
per
everyone.
podcast.
Don't,
Yeah, just
don't
generally.
take it
Three
personally.
can take it personally though.
he's got his show notes. He's like, said fuck you. All right.
Done.
How many times do I have to
Yeah,
bleep?
got it. Check.
So where can people find you guys? Like, where can people find info? What's the website again? Do you want to release your Discord publicly or your own
Totally.
personal handles to anything?
Sure. www.smashrockets.com. That'll get you to everything else. You can play the game from there. You can go to Discord from there. You can go to Twitter. We love Discord. People can come on and give us all the feedback, and Discord is the best way to reach out and engage for sure.
Smashrockets.com
Mhm.
Yes.
as a Discord?
The Discord, I think, is just called Smash Rockets.
No, there is. We're lowly Discord members. We don't have a partnered thing, so
Oh,
you
we're
just
not
have to
real.
follow the link via smashrockets.com.
I see.
I was trying to search it.
I think we need like 50 nitro boosts or something like that, so it's
Oh
just
man,
never
we gotta
going to
get
happen.
busy.
we need a lot more fans to be able to say
How
go
many
to
nitro boosts do you have right now?
0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll be your first.
Release the confetti.
Tyler, do you have any handles that you want to speak to?
Let's see. I think all of them are pretty much covered right there.
Nice.
I can't think of anything else because
Yeah, we're at Smash Rockets. So,
yeah, we're just
There you
all
go.
contained within Smash
So,
Rockets. We
I
have
know,
our
like-
identity all set.
That's exactly it. I'd rather people know Smash Rockets than know me right now. So
Fair.
if
Fair.
you like Smash
Yeah.
Rockets enough to want to know me, we can do that. But first, find the game.
That's true. That'll lead you right down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, see, this is my best foot. Look how forward it is.
That's amazing,
Cool. Well,
Tyler.
thank you guys so
you.
much. Thank you so much for talking with us and telling us about your game, and we look forward to hearing more in the future.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. And we'll bring it back
Dab.
to you, fucking podcasters. Dab.
Dab, dab, dab.
Oh, God damn it. We're going to lose all our followers now.
Oh, no.
Well, thanks, Scott and Tyler, for
Yeah.
coming on the show and talking about your
Their
game.
Their game, I don't know if they said it, but they basically are under the guise of Hyperfuel Games. That's what Tyler told me.
Gotcha. It's weird. It's almost like you weren't totally there for that interview.
I'm
It's kinda-
everywhere at all times because I exist forever. Oh, and Roly Poly was developed by a person named Judy Tai. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
She was really fun.
Oh, did you actually get to talk to her?
Yeah, we met her before while we were all setting up.
Oh, nice.
And we got to play her game a little bit. And Roly Poly was such a cute like animation style.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset because it sounds like she had developed that game exclusively as her senior thesis, and that she was no longer going to be pursuing the development of it.
Yeah, that's her friend.
Throw her
Yeah.
money, people. Tell her to keep going. I
Never
wanna play
stop,
this game.
never stopping. Her friend Celeste Cottrell, was kind of doing what you were doing there for Smash Rocket, Steve, which was she didn't actually develop it, but she was basically like upselling it and talking to people about it and being like the biggest
She
fan.
was gassing it.
She was gassing it, yeah.
That's
Which
cool.
you were a great salesman for Smash Rockets, apparently.
Or a great gasser.
Great gasser. You're a great ghastly.
Yeah,
One
right?
day you'll be a haunter.
Well, when I level up.
Yeah, when you level up.
Yeah.
So how was your experience there, Steve?
It was really cool. The space was interesting. So previously we've shown Smash Rockets at GameCon, which took place both times at a casino. So it was a much larger venue. So this was a lot more intimate. There was probably, how many would you say? There was probably like 10 developers there.
I counted here. I actually wrote them all down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And it's available right now online, right?
Yeah, so the part that I'm so excited about with this, and I know that Scott loves talking about it and his developing of it, but the idea is that it's completely free. It's actually up and running on the website right now. And as they
Is
said,
that smashrockets.com?
smashrockets.com. And the next update, which I believe was getting pushed through in a short period of time here, is the server lobby system, so that people can start building their own servers and inviting their friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, yeah, he did talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a really neat and well put together concept. Scott doesn't like to talk about the future when it comes to Hyperfuel games because he wants to focus on Smash Rockets so much. But their hopes is that server lobby system will be able to extend to the entirety of Hyperfuel, so that any future projects that he works on will be able to populate in there as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so shout out one more time to Philly Game Mechanics, doing great stuff in Philly, and Color Space Labs, because they're also amazing, and I love all of their events. These are groups that are really trying to get, like, Color Space does a lot of work with artists and filmmakers in the city, so this whole game thing, I was like, they're so good.
Nice.
And an extra shout out for anybody listening to definitely go check out smashrockets.com. Especially if you've got 3 friends that you want to defeat in a platform brawler style game, check it out.
That's
There you go.
easier than Smash.
And
Much.
even if you have no friends, it's kind of fun to fuck around in there.
Yeah, the flying system is really neat.
Yeah.
Didn't I see something about him developing bots to do it, but they're
Oh,
done
yeah.
right now?
Yeah, so he's got like little AI bots, and I don't know how long he spent specifically on it, but I guarantee it was a very small period of time relative to the development of the game. So it'll probably only get better from here.
Nice. All right, but that's my portion.
Cool. Then we're just moving on to Cam's mystery topic that he said he would have at the end of the last
Oh,
episode.
he did.
But he fucked off to Mexico because of something I can't talk about. Just kidding, but
redacted.
redacted. Just kidding, obviously. Or am I?
Or are you?
Cool. Well, then we'll move right on into our next segment, the part of the podcast where we play a game.
And I'm super excited for this game because at first I didn't fully understand what you were trying to say, but once I figured it out, I think it could be really fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
Cool. Our game today is called Opposites Attract. Basically, the premise is we're each gonna say the name of. We're gonna try to have other people guess the titles of the games we're saying, but we're gonna be saying the opposite of those titles. So, for example, if I were to try to have someone guess Overwatch, I would say Underblind.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, and I think there will be some really interesting and very creative responses. So I'm curious to see what you guys came up with.
All right, I will keep track of points if you want.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I don't remember if you were here for this, Stephen, but something we might try to do is actually keep track of points, and maybe we'll do a little. Whoever has the most points by the end by the end of the year. Get something.
Ah, no, I think I missed that conversation.
Yeah, maybe we can all pitch in and whoever gets the most points gets a game or something.
Yeah, we'll do the best indie games of 2019 as curated by Qwertycast, and the winner gets the collection.
Oh,
there you go.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
I like that.
We can also go through it. That'll be a later episode around Christmas, New Year's time. We can go through our top indie games of the year or something.
Yeah. I like that idea. All right, cool. Yeah. Well, who wants to start?
Not me.
I'll start.
Go for it.
All right. This one's kind of funny, but hopefully you guys will be able to figure this out. So, the only hint that I will provide is that I actually chose all indie games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So, opposites attract. The game that I want you to describe, or just give me the title for, is Cold Squiggles, Colorado.
Damn.
Fuck.
A cult. So.
Okay, wait. Colorado?
Yep. Cold Squiggles, Colorado.
The fuck is the opposite of Colorado?
What the fuck?
I guess I'm not gonna say it. Maybe you should be able to get it from that. Hopefully.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
The opposite of Colorado. Oh, you mean Maine? No. So hot. So Kenny and I are gonna basically have to fight over who figures it out first.
Hot straight Montana.
Hot straight Montana. Yeah, right. I'm thinking hot straight, but hot straight Colorado. Squiggles. Is straight the opposite of squiggle? I guess.
I'm gonna say no.
You what?
No.
I'll help you both out.
Oh God.
Straight is not the second word.
Oh fuck. Okay, so
okay.
hot squiggles.
Hotline Miami.
Hot.
Ding, 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 ding.
Damn it.
So I realized afterwards,
Ooh.
because you guys made me realize, I said Colorado, and Colorado is a state. However, Miami is a city. So I should have used a city in Colorado.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
But I figured Miami's extremely hot, and Colorado has mountains and is very cold. Typically,
that's a good one.
No, yeah,
All right, Kenny, that's 1 point to you.
Woo!
Damn it, that's really good, actually.
That was a good one. Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. Okay, well, here's a good one. I wonder if it'll be really easy or not, but Full Death 2.
Half-Life 2.
There you go.
damn.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
Ooh, Kenny's good at this
I
game.
know. He's dangerous.
Okay. So, all right, here's mine.
Okay.
Separate Plummet.
Together rise.
Together.
Separate
Plummet.
This one's going to be one of those ones where you're like, oh, fuck, of course.
Separate Plummet.
That's your hint.
Because I feel like I've heard rise together, but maybe no.
Is it
Separate
fly?
plummet. Separate together. Combined rise. No. What other synonyms for separate?
You mean antonyms?
Yes, antonyms.
Let me know if you guys want a hint.
I'm down
Take a
for a
hint.
hint.
We talked about this today.
Damn it, really? Separate plummet. Plummet. What about rise?
Is it
Elevate.
United? Unite?
United rise? United fly?
You guys are kind of close, but not really.
I like United. That's probably a good one.
I have another. Okay, I have another hint if you want it. Okay. Think of. You're on the right track with like the rising part, but like, think of also like. There's another word for like things that up into the sky.
Soar? Up into the sky.
Blank up into the sky.
Oh. You
I feel like once you get the second word, you'll be able to.
I think it's jump. But blank up into the sky, jump up into the sky.
Yeah. Or even easier, think of what goes up into the sky.
What?
Birds?
I
feel like we're getting further.
I'm thinking, I know, right? Is it launch? I'm thinking maybe launch, so like together launch or like united launch. Together.
Maybe Kenny's way better at this game than we are.
I know. What the fuck?
Okay.
All right.
Wait,
I think we're
if
gonna
you give us the first word, and then the two of us, whoever gets it, the second word wins.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be so easy
Okay.
once you get the first word. No, I'm not gonna give you the first word. I'm gonna tell you like the last hint that's gonna give it away
Damn
as
it.
well.
Okay.
This is where you guys met each other.
What? Game Jam?
What?
Color Space?
Colors. Smash Rockets.
Boom!
Smash Rockets.
Smash Rockets.
Oh, wait. How is that separate? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Smash
What do you mean?
separate.
Yes.
Smash. All right.
Smash was
Sure.
a hard one. Smash was a hard one.
Smash was hard.
But plummet, the opposite of plummet, you can rocket up into the air.
Okay, I see it. I see it now. I see it.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm happy that you're better
We
at
suck at
guessing
this
than
game.
you are at making ones up.
So do you get a point if nobody guesses it?
Does Kenny get a point? No.
Can we say yes?
No.
Okay, fine. I'll give you. Okay,
No,
I'll give you
fine,
half
I
a
won't.
point. Okay. All right, Steve, it's your turn.
All right. All right. This one is hilarious, but let's see if you guys can get it. Lousy plant girl.
Lousy plant girl. Good. No, something. Boy, damn it. Plant. What's the opposite of plant? Wait, so are we talking about plant the verb to plant or plant the noun?
The noun.
Okay.
Oh,
Plant.
that was an important distinguisher.
You said lousy plant girl, so something boy. So
Super Meat Boy.
Ding 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 ding
Super
ding ding
Meat
ding.
Boy. God damn it.
Super
God,
Meat
Kenny.
Boy's prequel. Lousy plant girl.
Lousy plant girl. That's a really good one.
That was a good one.
All right, this one's ridiculous. Hopefully you'll. We'll see. Well, you guys have been doing hard ones, so. Animals rise engorged.
Something about that.
Human fall flat.
Oh,
Yeah, damn it.
Damn, I didn't even think about it.
Yep, there you go. All right. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
This one, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Earthbreak.
Earthbreak. Space fix?
You're close.
Space. Earth fix. Space.
Space engineers.
Oh, fuck.
No, not quite. But you're in the right area.
We're in the right headspace. Earth fix. Space break? Space.
Space Jam.
Break's one of the words I used.
Oh, it is. Sorry. Wait, what did you say? Earthbreak?
Earthbreak.
So space. Mend.
Mm.
Kerbal Space Program.
Heal.
No.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I feel
too.
like there's a lot of breaking in Kerbal Space Program.
Oh, right. Space. Oh, fuck. This is hard.
Is it not space?
That's not the word
Oh.
that I'm looking for.
Great.
But again, it's in the right area.
It's in the right area. So Earth. You said Earth break, right?
Yes.
Sky. Oh man. God, I suck at this. Cause I probably don't know the game.
Okay, is it break like stop or break like destroy?
Destroy.
Sky put together.
Andres, we're really bad at this game.
Oh my god, so bad. There's so much dead space. All right. Hint, please.
Okay, it's a real-time strategy game.
Oh.
StarCraft?
Yeah!
God damn it.
There it is.
Oh, that's good.
That was good.
That's
that was
a good
really
one.
good.
All right, cool. That's StarCraft. You get one more point.
All right. I'm going to throw both of you off with this one.
Damn it.
I think it'll be funny if you do figure it out.
More than everyone has thrown me off already.
Extra Dust Mountain.
Ah, shit.
Extra Dust Mountain. Dust. Oh, fuck. Extra.
Let me give you one hint that might help.
Okay.
The word extra is not extra like more of. It's
Oh.
extra like person in a TV show.
Oh.
Extra Dust Mountain.
Yes.
Actor. No. Maybe.
What's the opposite
Actors.
of an extra?
An intra. No, damn it.
The star?
What's the opposite of an extra? Is it a star or the crew?
You guys are getting
Crew. What's the opposite of dust? Dust is maybe
Stardew Valley.
Yes.
Stardew. Damn it! Oh, damn it!
Extra
That was
Dust
actually
Mountain.
one of the ones that I was gonna try to do.
Damn, that was good.
Stardew Valley. That's great.
Extra Dust Mountain.
I was thinking hill for some reason.
I knew it was Valley. I just didn't know the first two.
Oh my god! If I knew Valley, I would have gotten that.
Star Valley. Stardew Valley.
Yeah. No, that was amazing. Okay.
Is
I
that me,
have.
or is it you?
No, it's
Tom
me.
is.
Okay.
But at this point,
All
I think
right.
Kenny won, but let's just keep going so we can get these points.
Yeah. Right. So Kenny can get more points. Okay. I have Under Raw. Under Raw.
Overcooked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easy one.
Yeah, nice.
That was good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was
All right.
like, oh, this is a gross one.
Mine's going to be super easy.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So, because only two of the words are switched, so whoever can answer fastest, you got it. Ready?
Fuck. Okay.
Mhm.
Slower than dark.
Faster than
Faster than light.
Oh, that was close, but I think it might have been Andres.
I think it
really?
was Andres. He started before me. I think I just finished first.
Yeah.
It it helps that the next one I was gonna do was Slower Than Darkness.
Oh, really?
So I was staring directly at the phrasing when I said I was like Slower Than Dark. Yes.
So it's 3 each, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And I got no points.
Really? Oh, I thought you had 3 points each. I was like, wow.
Oh no.
Oh,
you have
no.
You have 4 points. Steve has 3, and I have zap 0.
Nice.
Which, wait, that doesn't make sense because that's 7 points and we should have gone through 9 games, right?
Oh.
Well, one of them you guys didn't guess of mine.
That's
right.
true.
And then I guess
I think Kenny had 5.
Did he? Oh, 5
And then I
points?
had yeah, and
Well,
then I had 3.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. Andres, you just got faster than light, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So it's 4-3-1.
Andres, you're trying to sell yourself
What? I'm tall.
short. Cool.
Perfect. All right.
That's a solid game. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
All right,
this is
Steve
fun.
got 2 bonus points.
Well, no, I think we will we'll scratch the bonus. It was just for fun.
Yeah. We have fun here.
Those are the points that don't matter.
Exactly.
And everything was made up.
Yeah.
And
I'm Drew Carey.
Oh shit.
Surprise.
What's the
anyway,
opposite of Drew Carey? I'm
Drew Barrymore.
I'm Scribble Throw.
Oh my god, that's so good. Scribble Throw.
My name's Scribble
best friend,
Throw.
Scribble
All the
Throw.
points don't matter and everything's made up.
I love it. Wow. That's
That's actually really clever.
I'm embarrassed to say. I was like,
Well, if you
Scribble
edit
Throw,
out
what?
that second, it'll sound like you're a lot smarter.
I'm so smart.
Well, GG,
Anyways.
everybody.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah. Just a little extra part of the podcast. Check out our YouTube. We have an email. What's that email, Andres?
Qwertycastmail@gmail.com. If there's a game or a topic you'd like us to talk about or play for the podcast, let us know, and we'd be happy to check it out.
Or tell us an interesting fact about yourself.
Oh,
why
me? Well,
No,
one
no,
time.
Not you. We don't want to hear any more of what you have to say. It's already
Well,
been over an hour.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Anyway, we still plan to release a Patreon, as far as I'm sure. As blah, 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 blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah.
We still plan to release a Patreon. We just have not gotten around to it because all of us are busy.
And I think a Twitter might be, if
I think
we
we
go
have a Twitter.
social media. Wait, we have a Twitter?
Well, Steven does.
No, I mean for the cast.
Steven, make your Twitter for the cast.
Okay. Well, I do have a personal Twitter at
There
Captain
you go.
Bean Sparrow, but we could talk about putting together one for the QWERTYcast.
There we go.
Yeah, get the name out there.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, and we'll be releasing more videos and more chances to include you guys, our QWERTY birdies, into our podcast and other things that we do. But in the meantime, you can always join our Discord and just play games with us for fun.
I think mostly Smash, but still.
Well, right now it's a lot of Smash, but there's other times that we do other things.
Oh, that's good. I just don't pay enough attention.
But yeah.
Should
what?
Should the music be playing, or is that not yet?
Oh no, I was about to lead into it, and you fucked me. This is the part of the
Consensually.
podcast where we have to say goodbye. My
That's
name
such a
is
sad
Kenny
part.
Schofield again, and you can find me on @NoDecay on Instagram if you're interested in some of the film stuff I do. Andres, where can people find you?
Oh, hello. You can reach me at professionally_dad on Discord and Steam. And if you want to check out some of my photography on Instagram, I have Spolari_snapshots.
Yeah, and I'm field day on most gaming things.
And Steven? And Steven!
Hey! Yeah, it turns out my gamer tag's relatively unique, so Captain Bean Sparrow, pretty much on any platform you can think of other than Facebook, so feel free to reach out.
Hey, Andres, really quick. When you met Steven, did he look like Steven? Like from Steven Universe? Was there a resemblance?
No, well, actually, he looks a little bit like, did you know?
Garnet?
No, yeah, he kind of had, he looked like Alexandrite, like a combination of everyone.
Have we had the discussion about Steven Universe previously?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
maybe...
if my hair is more grown out, I look exactly like a grown-up Steven Universe. In fact, so much so that my parents always joke because I looked like him as a kid.
Well,
that's perfect.
awesome. Anyway,
and you can also